So something happened about my third month into holding a real estate license that drastically changed the trajectory of where I was going. And although it was so small and so simple, it completely changed the destination of where I ended up in that first year in real estate. So I was sitting in the office one day talking to another top agent in my office, and I basically asked him this question, and the answer to this question changed everything for me. I asked, "At what point did you start making fuck you money?" And he said he went to a conference where another top agent in the market was speaking on stage. And he basically said, if I could go back, I'd make my goals so big that they scare me. So what this agent that I was talking to started doing was basically third or fourth year in real estate, he said, I want to make $300,000. Which was more money than he had ever made before in his life. Now, he didn't make 300, but he came damn close. So the next year, he upped it to $500,000. He didn't make $500,000, but he came damn close again. So that third year, after finding this out, he said, I'm gonna make $1 million. And he ended up making about $850 in that year. So after he had told this to me, I had written down on a piece of paper that I wanted to do 8 deals in my first year in real estate. And I had written it down like on a lined piece of paper like 400 times, like Bart Simpson on a chalkboard, basically. And he's basically like, screw all that. What's your real goal? I told him 200,000. He said, double it. So I was like, all right, 400,000. And from that point going forward, I truly believed that I was gonna somehow make $400,000. So much to the point where I even put out a video on my TikTok saying that I was gonna make $400,000. I'd never do that today, but at that time I did that. And what ended up happening was I didn't make 400, but I made 350-ish. It was like 363 or something like that. And it's hilarious because my original goal was roughly around $50,000, $60,000 with those 8 deals. So let me tell you guys exactly why this works, and you need to up your goals. As human beings, typically what happens is if you say, I wanna make $100,000 per year, our minds are instinctively going to look for opportunities that try to accomplish the goal of making $100,000 per year. They're not going to look for opportunities to make $1 million a year. They're gonna be looking at the opportunities that accomplish $100,000 a year. And there's really no difference between, $100,000 or $1 million. The only difference is the actions that you have to take to accomplish either of those goals. Each one of those goals requires a different magnitude of actions that need to be taken. So when your goal is $100,000 per year, you're going to be taking the actions that are required to make $100,000 per year. Whereas if you set your goal at $1 million, just instinctively, your mind is going to look for bigger opportunities to try and make $1 million. So for me, it was social media at that time because I was like, well, yeah, I could make all these cold calls, but it's gonna take like 4,000 cold calls before I'm even good at making cold calls. Then I actually have to qualify all these clients. I have to get them to trust me, and just the overall closing process takes way longer. Whereas if I just blow up on social media, it's probably a lot easier to accomplish that goal of 400,000 because I'm getting way more eyeballs. Now, is it harder? Absolutely. Not everyone can blow up on social media. Not everyone is going to get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views. But if I want to accomplish that goal of 400,000 my first year in real estate, I got to look at bigger opportunities. So the key thing to note here is what's going to allow you to accomplish that massive goal is finding the opportunity, but then it's actually doing the actions that are congruent with that opportunity when you find out what it is. So the beautiful thing about this is you may not have ever identified that opportunity in the first place. You can't even see it until you've set that goal. Once you set that goal, your mind starts thinking, okay, what is the opportunity? What do I actually need to do to accomplish that goal? Some people are scared and they won't actually pounce on that opportunity and do the actions that are congruent with the opportunity. But at least by setting that goal, you now identify the opportunity and you can take those actions that are congruent with the opportunity. Whereas if your goal is set at 100,000, you're never gonna see that $1 million opportunity. Your mind just will not allow it. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. See you on the next one.